This question comes from Bob. I believe he's from Illinois. He says, there are a
Hmm.
few churches I attend in a particular diocese that recite the St. Michael the Archangel prayer in the middle of Mass.
Hmm.
I have read that it should be at the end of Mass, and
Yeah.
I'm wondering your thoughts on this. Thank you very much.
It's a very interesting question. It touches on a lot of levels and layers that liturgists love to battle about. There are some laws, liturgical laws involved, but there's also a lot of leeway. And, this is kind of typical in church law. There's kind of some leeway, and there are ways of wedging it in there, but let's set up some principles. Generally, there's a norm that says that no one, even if he's a priest or a bishop, should add anything to the sacred liturgy or take away from it that is prescribed. And so the idea of perhaps adding a St. Michael prayer into the middle of a mass might seem to offend against that. However, we often see that there are moments, for example, in the homily, it's kind of free form. A priest can introduce a number of things, and he may choose to end a homily with a prayer, whether to the Blessed Mother. I've had from priests give homilies and say, let's end with an invocation of our Blessed Mother, and he prays, or he might, like we need to call on St. Michael to help us. So a priest could include that theoretically in his sermon remarks or at the end of his sermon. Another opportunity in the prayers of the faithful, sometimes called they've come up with all these different names for it, Matthew, I forget. And technically, one might be able to add a prayer at the end there, St. Michael the Archangel, and people could technically do that because that's kind of free form. It allows the faithful or the priest or someone there to, if you will, craft these intercessory or universal or prayers of the faithful. Also, at the end of Mass, there's often a time, this would be after the prayer after communion, where the priest can ask people to sit and have announcements or stay standing. There's a few announcements, and include in that, I would imagine, a prayer to we're all engaged in novena in the parish today or this week on St. Michael. So let's all pray the St. Michael prayer, and it's in your cards on the pews, something like that in the announcement period. And of course, once the priest said the mass is ended, go in peace, mass is over, and all the rules would kind of go away. And so once that's done, if a lay person wants to begin, St. Michael the Archangel, and others join him, that's permitted. Now, the question, though, says, what about in the middle of Mass? I think that's harder to justify, but it can be, like I showed you.